Hi everybody, Dumb Meta here, and thank you for once again joining me on my journey as I go through my favorites list on fanfiction.net. Again, I've been going through my stories on my favorites list, sorted by publication date, starting with the oldest, rereading them, and seeing if they still deserve to stay on my list. I've reached June of 2009, so let's see what we go into with Fragmented Ideas by Chilord, which is the first one. And again, this one is just again another collection of one-shots and ideas that he has that never progressed into full stories. Mainly Harry Potter, Naruto, and Buffy chapters here, and there's nothing really it's not like it's consistent. I liked a lot of these ideas. They were very more on the serious end rather than the funny end, but a lot of these I wish that I had become more, but they're super interesting and I really enjoyed looking at them, and I wouldn't mind looking at them again, so this is gonna stay on my list. Okay, so that's a quick one. Next one is Exit Stage Left by Skyflight 12. And this is where Harry Potter fic, where he's a reluctant time traveler. He gets sent back in time because the war is going badly, doesn't want to get sent back in time, but ends up going back to the summer before his third year, but still in his adult body with a new identity. And I did enjoy this one a lot. It's got like Harry and the flash forwards to the future were interesting because all the characters are now like slightly unhinged because they've been stuck in a single location, and the war's been going badly, so stuff like that. So they're entertaining, and Harry himself, his inner monologue and his actions are pretty funny. I think if it had progressed, because like Harry essentially decides to like mentor his younger self, and that relationship for the one chapter it exists is pretty fun. If it had gone further, I think this would have been really a great comedy, but unfortunately the fic just basically stops right when it seems like it's about to pick up. And what's here is just the promise of a good fic and not much to actually grab onto. So I did enjoy it, and if you want a few chuckles and go ahead and give it a look, but be prepared for it to stop abruptly and really quickly. And yeah, that's not good enough to stay on my list. More time travel stuff now with Double Time Trouble by Skysaber. And this is a second time travel, and not a second. This is a time travel fic, but Hermione only. And this is very much focused on Hermione. It doesn't even get to the actual canon stuff. But basically, so it starts with a bang, and we see like we get like a standard like Hermione and everybody betraying Harry start, and then Harry basically kills himself, and Hermione sees that Dumbledore can't win without him and everything's fucked, so he's like, okay, I shouldn't have done that, and tries to go back in time to stop him. It fails, and then she tries to go back again with the second Hermione that's also there, and then she eventually becomes a triplets. It's a little hard to follow because it jumps around a bit and stuff. It's also like a lot of stuff happening in a short time frame. This happens between basically she was born in 1979, and the last chapter basically takes place a little after Harry is born, which was like June of 1980, or July 1980. Like it's a lot of stuff. It's not complete. It just they just stop updating it, but like that's how a lot of shit happens. And it's also weird how, like, as I said, a lot of stuff happens, and some of it I didn't quite see how some things happened at the same time, or how did they just mistake this one. And it's a very, very more practical Hermione. who will do a lot of like unethical and questionable shit. I found it intriguing and interesting. You know, it's a different start from the standard fic, change of pace, and if you really like Hermione as a main character, I mean, I like her as a character. I'll be one of those basic bitches. I like Harry as my main character, but I do enjoy Hermione a lot. And I think it's a good idea. It gets pretty far and a lot of like highs and lows and valleys narratively, so you do get emotional payoffs, even if it doesn't complete the story. But this story just never fully clicked with me. I never was fully grasped into it, and I can, while I can appreciate it, I don't really enjoy it, especially near the end where things got a little odd. So yeah, it's interesting, and if you like Hermione and are interested in focus on her, definitely check this out, but it's not going to stay on my list. Okay, more Harry Potter with Happy Father's Day, Harry Potter by cragarrows. And basically, this starts with Harry going to Dumbledore about an idea he has to basically circumvent the prophecy or push the prophecy forward. Only find out that, hey, Dumbledore already did it, and it's like, okay, and then it just goes on. So the day gets saved, and then afterwards it's just a bit of cavity-inducing fluff. That's just it's a nice, lighthearted pick-me-up, warm, makes you feel warm inside. Nothing super substantial or really that humorous. So yeah, if you want a shot of joy, go ahead and give this a look, but it won't stay on my list. Yeah. Okay, another one shot this time with Sasuke is a Moron by Natari. Yeah, so this is this thing is a long for a single joke, and that single joke is that apparently Sasuke is a sexist asshole who can't think that Sakura would ever be any good, and so Sakura gets pissed and goes out and gathers all the members of the Akatsuki, alive or dead, and makes them say, "Do you find me attractive?" So the whole setup is dumb. It's a little I guess you can get a little humor out of the ridiculousness of her bringing back the dead multiple times and all that stuff, but I don't think I laughed once when I was reading this thing, and this is obviously supposed to be just full-on humor crack, so take that for what you will. I didn't find it funny at all, and I'm a pretty easy mark, so this is getting kicked off my list. Alright, different anime that's not the normal stuff that I've been. Sekirei. I don't know if I've already done one. I think I might have done one or two Sekirei fics before, but yeah. So Sekirei is basically a harem anime mixed with a tournament anime at the same time. This is an alternate take of the series where instead of the one he gets in the anime, which was Musubi, Minato gets as his first Sekirei, he gets the Tsundere Tsukihime instead. Tsukihime, the water girl. And so this is like the first 19 chapters of 27. This is a complete story. So the first 19 chapters or so are basically just kind of standard Sekirei fare. You have a lot of the same beats, and then there's a few new ones, but it's a lot of just standard harem comedy tropes with the small fights that, not huge fights, just small fights that happen because, hey, this is also supposed to be an action comedy. And then it just dives off a cliff into the Cerberus syndrome and just becomes super serious for the last third of this story. And then just like one to another gets to the end really, really fast. The scenes are all like really short. A lot. It's sort of like each scene. The chapters themselves are not that long, and then each scene in those chapters is also like super condensed, so everything moves really fast, and because of that, we don't really get a lot of characterization for any of the characters aside from one, and that's because Akitsu, which is the or the broken secretary, she gets her own. She gets a whole chapter just dedicated to her backstory, but she's the only one that we really get any insight to. We don't even get insight into Sugiyume, like aside from her being a tsundere, and that like everybody else gets like one or two, like one trait that we see a bit of when Minato's about to wing them, and then they just become set dressing, and they're just there for like, oh well, yeah, I have my army, so we're gonna go fight, or that, and like they just become cardboard cutouts. It's not interesting. If you just want to see, whoa, what would happen if this happened, go for it, this is fine. And it pisses me off because there's a couple scenes here that, while not good, like the ideas behind these scenes are really intriguing, and I feel like they're the scenes themselves, like these small scenes, even though they're not great, they're way better than most of the majority of this fic. And two, they feel underused because it's like if you had expanded on them, it would have been way more interesting. Basically, you're just wasting these ideas, and that kind of actually upset me when I was getting near the end. If you just want a simple story with cardboard cutouts that go with this one change, fine. There's nothing like terrible about this. It's more just super disappointing for me. And again, if anybody wants some depth in characters, look somewhere else. And this is not going to stay on my list. All right, and last but not least is Another Chance by Tiro, which is, what do you know, another time travel fic. This time Naruto, where Naruto travels back in time, but Gaara and Shikamaru come with him. So yeah, it's basically like, again, everybody's dead, and they go back in time, and then, kind of similar to the last story, there's not really any emotional connections or deep insights for you to sink your teeth into. It's more, this one is just a case of, hey, these superpowered people go back in time, and then, okay, we're superpowered, we can solve everything, let's just solve it. And I don't mind overpowered fics. I don't care. They can work just as well. I mean, usually they're more in a humorous tone, which this is not. But that's the thing, where like this is just that, where like they're powerful, they go there, oh, we want to save Zabuza and Haku, okay, we'll do that. We want to stop Orochimaru, okay, we'll do that. We got to go over here and stop this invasion, get Tsunade Hokage, okay, we'll do that. It's just this is just things happening with no emotional context or connection being created, and that's just, it gets dull, it's boring. It's just boring and bland, and I don't care about this story, and it's not going to stay on my list. So there we go. We got 330 stories now read, which, that's over a quarter of my list at this point, so that's good. 170 have stayed on, so I'm still over the 50% mark, but it's getting close. I want to see if or more likely when it'll tip over, because I think I'm starting to get a little harsher on these, or it's either I'm getting harsher or these are just really stupid stories that probably a mix of both. But thank you all so much for watching. If you're interested in any of these stories, links are in the description. If you like this video, please leave a like and leave a comment. Tell me how wrong I am about these stories. If you want to follow my journey and be notified when my next video comes up, please subscribe, ring the bell, do what you want to do. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.